Okay.
There we go. Welcome to Roncalli High School. I am Stefan Welsh, and alongside Mitch Allard. Welcome to the Woodshed. Tonight's game featuring the Roncalli Rebels against the Carmel Greyhounds. And tonight is a special night here at Roncalli. It is CYO night. That means that we have a whole bunch of young boys volleyball players joining us for the game tonight. Mitch, you got any experience with CYO?
Oh, yes, every night. I tell you, CYO is actually where I got my start. Started the program over at St. Jude when there was only 5 teams in CYO many, many years ago, and now I think their numbers are astronomical. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but it has grown tremendously, leaps and bounds every single year. So, which has really helped Roncalli and the other parochial schools. But CYO is such a great program that really defines what the boys are. So it's fantastic. Yeah, tonight's match, absolutely. One of these kind of grudge matches that have been around for at least 10 years when John Harmon used to coach the Carmel Greyhounds.
Gotcha.
And right now we are, kind of in a pickle from the RPI standpoint as far as the rankings of the Indiana Boys Volleyball Association team.
Roncalli is
7th, but Carmel is 6th.
Okay.
Yeah, so they do have a 8-4 record, 10-5 outside the conference, and now the coaches poll they're ranked 4th, and we are ranked 3rd.
That's right.
Yeah, so
that's right.
So it's always been a fight every season. They're coached really well, and
yeah, Carmel's got a pedigree.
Yes,
Carmel's got a pedigree to them, and it'll be. I mean, really, this is out of the past, I would say 5-6 years here in the state of Indiana. These are 2 teams that are perennially top 5 teams, right?
Absolutely. We have played each other in the top 8 regional championships every year, and they won the state championships 2 years ago. That other than Cathedral, in our recent past, Carmel has more state championships than any other team.
Gotcha. Okay, so a couple of juggernauts going at it tonight. Is there any player in particular when you look at the roster of Roncalli? We'll focus on the Rebels right now. That you would like to point out? The one that comes up to me is Zach Strawman's. The point differential is just out the roof there. 51, a plus 51 point differential when Jackson is on the court.
Right. He is he's absolutely a beast. He's 6'8", and he is just a phenomenal player. Playing on that right side is just a little bit of an advantage for us, being that he's so big. Most big guys always go to be an outside hitter.
Right.
So I tell you, when I'm looking at these stats, you have to give credit to Sam Island for having more aces than pretty much anybody in the whole state. He has a phenomenal server.
And we're going to pause for prayer and the national anthem.
Dear Lord, thank you for gathering us all here today. Thank you for blessing these athletes with their abilities to play this game. Please watch over all of them and keep them safe from injury. We ask you to help each and every one of us to do your will each day. In your name we pray. Amen. You
All right, getting back out of here, ready for some Rebel and Greyhound volleyball. So, Mitch, you were talking before.
Right. The Sam Island is impressive. I mean, every coach would love to have a 6'3" left-handed setter that can also become a hitter. He has 30 aces to this season, and the next closest person is 11. That's
right.
Just phenomenal,
Yeah.
and they're going to need all those aces against this good Greyhound team.
And Sam's got a pretty good top spin lefty arm swing coming at you there. So that's definitely something that you don't really see a whole lot of in the state of Indiana right now. The other player that I'd like to point out is Alex Payne. This kid's a junior, really just getting his first chance this year at adding to the Rebels team here, and it seems like John, head coach John Kesterson, really likes to use him as a pace player. I mean, Alex can go out and do anything, and he's playing a little bit of middle tonight, and he's like the X factor, if you ask me.
He sure is. I tell you, the thing about Alex, he's not overly tall, but he has phenomenal jump that will add to his height, and he's pretty much, I think he has the highest jump of anybody on the Rebels. It's incredible that somebody his stature can go that high.
That might be right. And the ball sounds just a little different when he hits it,
Yes,
too.
it does. Yes, it does. He has a fast. He has the next highest hitting point differential other than Zach is at a 23.
Yeah.
So he's their next best hitter. Really a fantastic, like you said, all-around player that can play in any position.
Right. Well, the Rebels are coached by John Kesterson, part of a new club to him and Roncalli coaches. He's won a state championship last year with not this same bunch of Rebels, but there's a handful of guys that were on the team last year. First in program history, and he feels pretty good about that, but I know that this is a different team, and he said that this is a different team. These guys are ready to go get one themselves, and this is going to be a big matchup in achieving that goal, making sure that that their RPI rankings are a little higher, hopefully. So when it comes to postseason play, perhaps
he'll be there for sure. He'll be certainly in the top 8. He'll hopefully host regional, and then from there move up. Roncalli's had a great history of being in the finals. Unfortunately, we have come in second place more than first, and it was great that John was able to get that monkey off our back.
Right. And Zach Strauman's with his first kill of the night right there. Nice hit on the right side.
Great back set by Sam.
Yeah. We got Connor Kuntz to serve. And the Greyhounds play that one up, and a real roll shot from the outside there, picked up by Austin, and that's going to be tipped over by Josh, and the Greyhounds can't handle it. So here we go, Connor Kuntz, the senior, coming up for his second serve of the night. Connor is a good old reliable, I would say, on this team, except he serves that one out. Serves that one out.
Yeah, Austin Hendricks, I tell you, he's a super libero, and he has a great pass. He passes a 2.24, which is phenomenal. Really a good steady, and that previous play was the reason why that ball stayed in place, because Austin dug that ball up.
Austin Hendricks, one of the best passers in the state, if not the best passer in the state, I would say right now. Payne back to serve, and that is played up and out by number 7, Jeff Wold. Jeff Wold hits that one out. Looked like libero attacking from the back row.
13.
Number 13. Okay, there we go. Jacob Pickett. And number 21, Austin Layton gets that kill for the Greyhounds. So a side out, and we'll get to see some more passing from the Rebels here. 2-4 early on in set number 1 here in the Woodshed, Roncalli High School. Back to serve here, number 20 for the Greyhounds. That's Alex Baldwin. Picked up by Kuntz. set by Sam, and then that one's put away by Josh off of the block of number 8. Oh, man. Kartik.
Yeah, great little 31 there. Over the years, you can tell that the pace of the ball and the setting has been much quicker. The typical high ball of years ago is out. So that was a great little 31.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And that a little answer back there with a quick set to the middle from the Greyhounds, and Rebels not able to pick that one up. 3-5. Back to serve there is Layton, the junior, contributing to varsity for the first time this season. Was on their JV squad last year only because our freshman squad played their JV squad a couple times, and he was on that team. That one's put over by Luke Grannon, put into the middle here. Sam sets that ball outside to Josh, and the Greyhounds able to recover and put that ball back over. Sam sets a little 3-ball, would you say?
Yeah, that was like a 32. That's a very, again, another quick play that doesn't give Carmel the time to set up their defense.
That's right. So Josh gets that kill and goes back to serve here. Josh, the junior, was on last year's state championship winning team. Puts that one into the net with the top spin. Josh has quite the vertical himself and a pretty explosive player. He's still got a lot to learn, but one of the bright spots for sure for the hitters on Roncalli's side. Number 13, Pickett serves there, and that ball is put down.
That was a big block by Jacob Kellum.
Yep.
Kellum family, 2 brothers that both phenomenal. Older brother that was on the state winning team, and now Jacob's following in his footsteps, and really a really great player.
Yeah. And we got a jump topspin by Pickett. That one passed by Hendricks, and Byrne goes ahead and knocks that one over. And Carmel struggles there with the free ball.
Little confusion of who has it.
Exactly. And it looked like the libero stepped in and just kind of passed it up into the middle of the court, and nobody knew who was supposed to hit it. Hendricks back to serve, another lefty server here, but he's going to float. Floats that into zone 1 where Pickett is. Layton sets that one, and Kellum able to put that one down around the block of Sam Island and Alex Payne. And here we go, 7-6, close ball game. Greyhounds to serve. Nice pass by Josh. And
a little bit of a low set.
Yeah, looked like they were trying to run something quick on the outside there.
Absolutely.
A shoot or a go, perhaps?
That's a shoot.
A shoot. There we go. And a Malai. And that one's pushed over by Payne through the block. Kellum rolls it, but into the net. That's going to be 4 on the Greyhounds. So side out, and here we go. There's Sam Island. Lefty topspin extraordinaire here. Most aces on the team so far this year, and we'll see what the strategy is here for Coach. Is he going to let him go jump topspin? Here it comes. And Sam hits that one out of the back. Got to serve tough, though. To win games like this against tough teams, you got to serve tough.
Absolutely, absolutely. You give them a free ball, you're gonna get it back.
All right. Back to serve, Lucas Getz. Left hand jump float up, and that ball is put down. It looked like perhaps over or through the block by Alex Payne.
Great set by Sam. Great job by Alex to go up and get it, and again another quick play.
Kuntz serves. That picked up by the libero, and maybe a little bit of a low set, but I think Kellum could have gotten that one over. He was just trying to do a little too much with that one, I think.
It was set a little bit further back than what Jacob likes it, and he already had taken a couple of steps in.
Right. So back at it with Carmel. Layton able to get the kill off of Connor Kuntz there, hitting across the court there. And Zach Strauman's back in playing front row. Maybe we'll see some blocks. Kellum back to serve. Top spin. Sam sets Josh. Greyhounds able to recover there, push the ball over. Strawman sets it up there for Josh, which is blocked. They recycle the ball, and Sam's going to push it back into zone 1. And Carmel pounds that one into the net there. That is number 13, Pickett, Jacob Pickett.
That was a good long rally that Roncalli didn't panic, kept the ball going until they got the opportunity to win.
Yeah, it was nice. We go another jump top spin, and that one's going to be called in right on the line by the line judge there. Alex Payne adds an ace to his stats for the season. Payne the junior, number 12, hitting out of the middle, serving top spin out on that one. So haven't seen many long runs by any servers yet. This game's really moving along here, getting through the rotations quickly, it seems like. Number 20, Alex Baldwin, is back to serve for the Greyhounds right now. And that's passed by Hendricks, set by Sam there, and of course put away right in between the block and that gap there by Strawmans.
That was a fantastic pass. Sam didn't have to move a foot and had 3-4 options, which made Carmel have to stay home on their defense.
Yeah, giving that little window for Strawmans there to hit through. It's good stuff. So Benji Pesto back to serve. He's got the second most serve attempts on the season for the team and only 4 errors. And that one's going to get down as the Greyhounds were able to roll one over the block there, tip one over the block.
Well, we got fooled with the hitter who couldn't hit the ball and fell asleep, and the libero came back and just put the ball into the court.
That's right. So back to serve Layton. And he stepped over the line there. Line judge doing a good job there, making sure that we called it out there. It's good stuff. Josh Byrne back to serve for the Rebels, number 7. And instead of going for his top spin, he just goes for a hard float, and that one worked pretty well there, pressing the gap there between zones 1 and 6. And we got our first timeout. And that's going to be Carmel's first timeout. So we will be back after this break. 11 to, what's the score
15.
here? 11-15. 30-second break. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Woodshed. I'm Stefan Welsh, joined by Roncalli head coach alum, Mitch Allard. Welcome to the Woodshed, game between the Greyhounds of Carmel and the Rebels here at Roncalli, of course. Josh Byrne serves that one up.
Another great serve.
Yep. And going with the flow, and Connor Kuntz tools the block there on that one. That was a good veteran move there.
Absolutely. That was a set that wasn't really a little too tight, and his whole intention was to wipe it off and get a point.
So Rebels up by 5, 16-11, first set. Byrne back to serve again. A nice hard float again, but that one goes begging, I should say, right out the back. And nobody really has put together, more than 2 or 3 serves yet. So
no, these two teams are battling head-to-head.
Trying to serve tough. Pickett serves that one up, and Josh attacks that one from the pipe in the back row. Looks like just went off the blocker there.
Well, what happened is, it just a little bit too low, and he hit it right into the block.
And it looks like there's a question here.
Well, Coach Kesterman thinks that it went over the net, and on their side, the ball came back on our side. Well,
and looks like point Rebels. So Austin Hendricks serves that one. Libero on the libero tonight, Jeff Wold for the Greyhounds. And that looks like Connor Kuntz sends that one out.
No, he got a little touch, got a little bit of a...
Oh, got a touch there.
Got a touch there, absolutely.
Good call there. So Hendricks back to serve again. See Hendricks use his float, his lefty float really well, and he can go on some runs sometimes. And there's another.
Again, taking that setter out of position where he really only has one option.
Sam sets that one to Connor, and Connor gets the kill. Looks like he went right through the block there. That was good. Good set by Sam again.
Austin's doing a great job putting them on the defense, and
serves that one out. Trying to serve tough though, right on the line near zone 1, and just missed. Might have even been outside the antenna.
Well, it's a strategy game between all the coaches of where exactly to serve, who's the weakest pass receiver, and so you're constantly trying to figure out who the best person to utilize.
Trying to find that soft spot.
Again, Connor doing a great job, not a great set, but he saw the block and he absolutely tooled it and got a point for Roncalli.
Right. And we got Sam Island back to serve, and looks like he's going to go with his jump float this time into zone 1. That's picked up by the Greyhounds, and Pickett's going to attack that one from back row there. And a big block put up there by the Greyhounds.
Great job of Austin to pick that block up.
Greyhounds roll that one over. That one's picked up by Sam, playing a little defense, and I don't know that was a block necessarily.
Yeah, it looked like a forward hit.
Yeah. Looked like we had an error there. So right now we got a pretty big front row for Carmel here. We got, let's see, we got Layton, we got number 18 who's just checked in for the first time, Otto, and then Kellum is up there as well. So I think that each of those guys are. Gosh, we got to be pushing 6'4" with at least.
Oh, absolutely.
At least
absolutely.
Each of those guys in the front row. So
a little bit of a mental error there by Conrad Otto.
And that ball, Layton able to use the blockers for a tool there.
Big block, but just barely out.
Yeah, just out. So that's going to lead to Kellum serving in the back row. 21-15, Rebels looking to close this one out, 4 points away. And Kellum serves that one out, so that's going to come out a little easier for the Rebels here. Alex Payne goes back to serve. Alex with the top spin. Nope, jump float. And he floats that one right out of bounds there.
Well, when boys want to start top spinning and they're not getting it in, the coach wants to have a secure, they tend to want to float, and if you're not used to doing the float.
My goodness, and we're just trading serves here tonight.
Fantastic, we'll take those extra points.
23-16. 2 points away from securing this first set are the Rebels, and Benji Pesto, old reliable, back to serve again. Over 100 attempts this year, only 4 errors so far. Benji serves into zone 1. Pickett able to recycle that one off of the block there. And we got Luke Grannon going up for a block again. And Layton just tipping that one outside the block. Looks like that was a little tough for Austin to pick up there.
It was. Carmel did a great job by starting on the outside, then when we blocked it, went to the middle, and then went to the right side, and Austin was trying to catch up to get out there and quite couldn't get it.
Right. Layton serves that one over and in. Pesto passes it. Grannon whiffs on it a little bit, but looks like it's able to sneak over the net and into the block.
That's a great tip. That's not a whiff. That's a great tip.
Great tip. There we go, yeah. Goes down as a kill anyhow, I suppose.
Absolutely.
And it looks like we're checking the score here. We have down 24-17. And it looks like that's the correct score here. Okay, so game point here served by Josh Byrne. Yep. And that ball able to be put away by the middle number 8, Anamalai. I'm guessing a little bit as to how to say that name because I did not ask him how to say it before. Number 13, Pickett back to serve. He's going to do the top spin. Gets that over and in. Nice pass by Josh. And Luke Grannon able to put away that Sam Island set, giving the Rebels their first win for tonight. The first set goes to the Rebels, 25-18. And so before we go into game 2, go ahead, Mitch.
Stephen, you made a comment. You made it perfectly. Good pass, and that is always the start of a great play when your setter has multiple options. And again, that was a great pass. And I tell you, for Roncalli as a team right now, they're passing a 2.17, and that is phenomenal for a high school team. So they work on that a lot, and I know they're very proud of that. But that passing sometimes doesn't get the recognition that it should. Everybody always looking either at the aces or the hitting percentage. But in order for the ball to get to the hitter, it has to get to the setter's hands very nicely. And I tell you, Roncalli does a great job of doing that.
That's right. So at the end of set 1, Roncalli taking that one. We're going to be back after a 2-minute break. Right here in the woodshed. Roncalli takes set number 1.
If I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put you and I together.
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Okay, just one more.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Every day we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
And welcome back to the Woodshed here at Roncalli High School. I am Stefan Welsh alongside Mitch Allard. And now joining us here for set number 2 is Bernie Price. And Bernie's going to share with us a little bit about CYO as we're celebrating CYO night here at Roncalli for boys volleyball. Bernie, can you just tell me what it is you do at CYO?
Actually, I'm the girls athletic director. I began in 1973. I was hired by Bill Kuntz and worked for Ed Tender, and now work for Coach Bruce, who was here formerly at Roncalli. And Coach Bruce has not asked me to leave yet, so we're in good hands. We're in good hands. But actually, our organization began in 1939, so we're approaching our 80th year of being a very, very viable youth organization in the community, especially to our Catholic schools, all of our volunteers, of which we can boast over 5,000 volunteers in our program. So know how appreciative we are of everything that goes on, and especially in our Catholic schools.
Okay. So Bernie, Mitch here has some experience in CYO, being a coach at St. Jude years back. And Mitch, do you know how many teams you might have started with when you guys were coaching?
Well, before it became CYO, there were 5 teams, and there was a was absolutely generous in taking over the scheduling and getting more and more teams. So we started with 5, and now, Bernie, we have...
Well, Carlos actually approached me in the summer of 2010, and at that point he was manning probably 21, 22 teams at that point in time. And when he approached me, we sat down, we talked, and at that point, I told our executive director at that time, Ed Tender, that let's embrace it. Let's embrace it. Let CYO take it over. And we began in 2011 with 23 teams. And our past season, we had about 100 boys teams with about 800 participants. And total teams for girls and boys volleyball, 4th through 8th grade, now we're at 342 teams.
Wow.
So it's pretty phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And we thank Carlos every day for bringing it to our attention and letting us take it over. It's been a win-win.
Yes. He definitely was the person that kept that when the family left. He was coaching one of the 5 teams at St. Pius, and stayed on top and grew it, and to the point where he felt that CYO should take it over. So yeah, absolutely give a shout out to Carlos Capio.
Yes, and Carlos still keeps in touch with CYO, and I think he knows that once he approached CYO, that he put it in good hands. It came out of good hands, and now it's in good hands.
Oh, it's in great hands.
And we're so glad to have that, because it also brings a little bit of the social aspect and takes away a little bit of the competition, because when you mix when you have a day where you have 8, 9, or 10 matches, and you mix a girls match and then a couple of boys matches and then girls matches, it's just fun.
Yeah,
it's just fun.
Right.
So
having
the social aspect of it also comes into play.
That's wonderful. So when it comes to CYO here in Indianapolis, what's the future for boys volleyball?
I would say this sport will grow. It will grow. It will grow in popularity. If you stop and think about comparing 2011, 22 teams, and now 100 teams and 800 participants, you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. And I would venture to say that the high schools are probably pretty pleased
Yes.
with what's come out of our program, and feeding into their program. It's just a wonderful thing for CYO and great for the guys. But I do have to say this, and girls will always play kickball. It will be girls kickball. Just like boys football, it'll be girls kickball.
And that is something that is totally unique. I came from Colorado myself, and I had never seen actual organized kickball teams until I stepped onto the Roncalli campus. The day that I got here, I saw a team at St. Jude practicing,
Yes.
and I said, wow, that looks like kickball, but school's not in right now. And no, it's just CYO has kickball teams, and I was like, wow,
and I'll tell you, we have 2 seasons of kickball, and the great thing about it is many times when I present trophies at the playoffs, I will tell these girls that the first kickball game was in 1941. And in the United States, CYO in Indianapolis is the only organized kickball league that actually keeps standings and plays for sport.
Wow.
We are it right here.
Wow,
So,
fantastic.
yeah, I just thought I'd add that little fun fact in there.
That's pretty neat.
Thank you.
Keeping the records. Awesome. Well, Bernie, is there anything else that we can get out of you for before we let you go for CYO night?
Well, I'll tell you, I think this is a good opportunity to just say thank you to everyone that supports CYO. People are so busy that we feel like sometimes we dictate their lives to them.
Yeah.
With the schedules and but the support is amazing, and I'm always amazed at the time and effort that's given to CYO. And I would have to say this. A little Bernie commercial. I'm going on my 46th year with CYO, and it's nothing is ever perfect, and you're always going to have a little bit of conflict, but we're okay with that. Yep. I'm just so lucky to go to work every day for CYO. So thank you so much for what you guys do too.
Oh, wonderful! It's awesome having you. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Bernie.
All right. Bernie Price. So Bernie Price joining us there, the legend at CYO, 46 years, been there a long time, but she gets to come and enjoy CYO night at Roncalli High School, where just for the coaches at Roncalli, I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't coached a CYO team. As the Islands both coached at Barnabas. You've coached at St. Jude.
John has done St. Jude also.
John, Coach Kesterson has coached St. Jude as well. But I do know that CYO is a big part of the Roncalli program in particular. All of my freshman players talk about playing at OLG or playing at St. Francis St. Clair. And you know what? If you can go down the line and look at most of these kids on the Roncalli varsity team, and they could tell you where they played CYO ball. So it's good stuff.
Well, CYO does an absolutely fantastic job of just organizing all these. I mean, when you talk about over 300 teams, think about the logistics of courts, referees. It's unbelievable, and they are phenomenal at what they do and keeping these kids happy and giving these kids a lot of opportunity to play these different sports that maybe they wouldn't be able to until they were older.
One heck of an organization.
Absolutely.
And glad that we have that opportunity, because they teach a lot at that young CYO level before we get them in high school. And
teaching great values. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Makes good people. So back to the action here as Josh Pickett, or Jacob Pickett, I should say, sails that one out of the back here. We got Roncalli in set number 2, up big, 17-8.
I tell you, Roncalli has just been doing an absolutely fantastic job. Just like in the first set, they were hitting 333, which is phenomenal, and they were passing 2.80. 3 being a perfect. So, keeping that up, I think the the youngness of Carmel is starting to show. They're getting a little frustrated, making some mental errors that that they really usually don't do. You can see them; their heads are going down when Roncalli puts the ball down.
Yeah, I'm not seeing much confidence right now.
Not at all, not at all, and that just boosts Roncalli's confidence.
Yep. And so we got Austin Hendricks back to serve again, libero extraordinaire and lefty extraordinaire for serving purposes. Jacob Kellum, that was a pretty strong outside attack there that Austin was nearly able to dig.
He did a great job of getting his body way out in position and putting that ball up, and just didn't have help of somebody else getting it continuing.
He had the right amount of lean, that's for sure. He was just diving.
Yeah, Jacob Kellum, that was an absolutely great hit around the blocks.
Yeah, it sure was. So number 6 there gets served, and that point is going to go to the Greyhounds.
Yeah, Alex tried to do too much of a soft tip, and Jacob Kellum too tall and had the roof over his head.
There we go. So gets back to serve again. Lefty jump float, that taken by Connor and set by Sam. So Connor takes it on the left side. Sam sets him all the way back on the right side there, and Connor trying to go with that slide there. He was ahead of the defense.
He certainly was, but
the ball was pretty far ahead of him as well.
Yeah, he didn't have much of a chance of reaching it.
Yeah. So Josh hits out of the back row there. That one's set by Sam. Leighton sets that one up for Kellum. Rebel's going to play this one off the block, and Sam trying to take advantage of that, going on 2 and hits that one into the net.
He had one earlier that was absolutely phenomenal, but it was a little bit closer to the net.
Right.
This one, he was a little bit too far back to be able to put it over.
And this game has become a little closer here. Rebels making some errors, and Alex Payne going to put that one to sleep. 19-13, the Greyhounds went on a bit of a run there, about a 4-point run. So Alex Payne said, "No more. Let's get someone back here to serve." And who is going to serve for us?
That's going to be Sam, and I suspect we might see his floater.
Looks like he might be doing that top spin starting back there.
He is doing the top spin.
And he's going to hit that. He hit that about 2 feet out.
Yeah.
Struggling right now.
He's struggling. Just the difficulty of a top spin at this age is very, very hard, and he needs to learn that when he sometimes he has it and sometimes he doesn't.
Is that ball coming down? And the woodshed here, Roncalli has taken the game ball away. Hopefully we got a second.
The good old low ceiling that Roncalli depends on at least 4 or 5 points every set.
That's pretty good. So Jacob Kellum's going to get I like that. Our camera people all on top of that one, trying to look for it up there. But Jacob Kellum back to serve this one again, and he's going to just do a redo here. And Connor shanks that one a bit.
He has a very good top spin with a considerable side spin aspect to it. So forces Roncalli to take a timeout to regroup.
So it's become a 4-point game here in set number 2. Roncalli up at 19-15. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to the woodshed here. Game in progress. The second set of this best of 5 between the Rebels and the Greyhounds of Carmel there. So,
Coach take a great timeout. Carmel comes back and serves it out, so that's always a
coach's point.
Coach's point when he takes a good timeout and forces the other team to make a mistake.
Connor Kuntz, the senior, back to serve for the Rebels, who are up 21-15. Sets that one for Layton. He gets a strong attack off, but we got a setter back there, Sam, who is playing some defense. And then it looked like Strawman set him, and Sam was moving forward on that one, but what happened?
Well, Stramus was not going to set him, but I suspect that Sam whispered something to him when he passed the ball that he wanted to be the hitter, and he didn't. Zach didn't give him a great set because he really wasn't. That wasn't in his mind when the ball was coming to him.
Right.
But when you have a setter that can also be a hitter, he sometimes tends to be a little bit hoggish on that. He likes to get a little bit of that kill action also.
Oh yeah, for sure. And into the game now, number 12, who I'm going to guess is Quinn Lewis, serving for Carmel. He's not on the varsity roster, but is on the JV roster as number 12. So I'm going to guess that this guy's a freshman coming into the game for the first time for the Greyhounds. And Kellum takes that serve, and that one is put up by Getz, and Layton able to recycle that one back over the net there. And Josh Byrne able to put that one down, and first dug by Getz, looks like on his shoulder, and then Kellum hits that one into the net.
Yeah, that was a great up, but he's going to have a mark on his neck.
For sure. Power volleyball here in the Woodshed tonight. Most nights here now with the Roncalli team here. And Pickett rolls that one into the block. Game point here, set point for the Rebels with Alex Payne serving. 24-16.
Great job by Zach to reach over and block that ball.
Yeah. Payne floats it over into zone 5, and a little bit of one action there, but then pushed over after the block. And there you go to the guy who's got a plus 51 point differential to end that set, Zach Strawmans.
A little confusion on the set from Carmel. The middle wasn't sure. He came in and hesitated, and after that he had to just give us a free ball, which we took advantage of.
That's right. Well, Roncalli able to take the second set, so takes the first 2 sets straight. We're going to take a little 2-minute break here before we go into set number 3. We'll be back in the Woodshed here. Roncalli leading 2-0.
If I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put you and I together.
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Okay, just one more.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider.
And welcome back to the Woodshed. Stefan Welsh here alongside emeritus coach of the Roncalli Rebels, Mitch Allard. And we are enjoying an awesome CYO night here, celebrating the Catholic Youth Organization here in boys volleyball. And the Rebels, we're also celebrating the Rebels being up 2-0 here.
It's great to see all these young players from all the South Deanery schools here. And it just shows that Roncalli will never have a problem with recruiting players as the years move on.
How's that feel? I mean, you're part of the early stages of all of this. So how does that feel looking back on that?
That is absolutely fantastic. I would have never thought that when we first started with 5 teams that we would have ended up with 100. I would have never thought that CYO would have picked it up. It wasn't even on our radar. Just trying to enjoy, volleyball, and for so many years, you have the stigma of it's a girls' game, and that is something that has certainly been shown since CYO has picked it up, and you will have a day of girls and boys volleyball at the same venue. It gives an opportunity for families that weren't considering their sons playing volleyball to watch while their daughters are playing, and then sit around and watch a boys game and see that it is actually a very fast-paced game. Right. Girls are learn better technique early on, but boys always have the more power.
Yes, speed and power is what Coach Kesterson always says separates the guys from the girls, and definitely seeing that tonight with, hitters from both sides, really. Jacob Kellum on one side, very good hitter, just like Zach Strauman's on the Roncalli, and 2 very powerful guys, very skilled, very experienced here at boys volleyball.
We did drop a little bit in our hitting percentage. We went from a 333 to a 244, but we're able to capitalize on the Greyhounds having their missteps in that second set.
Yeah. So here we go to start this one. Gets back to serve for Carmel, and it looks like Connor picks that one up, and Alex Payne actually just kind of chucks that one back up to Straumans, who hits on the outside, but hits that one long.
A little bit low for such a big guy. He likes those sets a little bit higher.
Get on top, give him a high ball. And there's Connor again, struggling a little bit with that pass. That might not have been a 3, that's for sure. Straumann's picking up that tip. Zach Meyer into set for the Rebels, and Connor hits that one long.
Anytime you bring a new setter in, for some reason the passing isn't quite as on spot, right. Which it should be. There it goes. That's a perfect.
It's a little better, but he gets called for the double on that one. Zach does, trying to push it away from the defenders back on the other side, trying to give who was on the right side there? Connor. Trying to give Connor a one-on-one, but commits the double on that one. And Zach is subbed out of the game. Coach had enough of that. He's putting his old setter back in there, Sam.
Well, I want to make sure that we win this third set.
Right. Yeah, you can't start down 3-0. That's not a good thing from Coach Kesterson's point of view, or any coach's point of view, I should say. Connor Kuntz back to serve that one, taken by the libero, and Jacob Kellum gets a kill there. Austin not able to dig it, but also the block from Alex Payne was just a little late getting over there. So Carmel up 4-1, holding that 3-point advantage. Going back to serve, number 3, James Marr. First time I'm saying his name tonight, and he does a little top spin that Hendricks handles just fine. Josh Byrne able to pound that one cross.
Perfect pass, perfect set, and Josh Byrne puts that ball straight down. We need to be careful not to let the Greyhounds get a momentum here because, you know, psychologically they could come back and win this set. We got to push hard.
Pickett able to go with the strong attack there. Rebels able to recover. Byrne puts it over. And that is number 18, Otto, who attacks that one. Strawman's changing up the pace, going a little slow there. You're used to the big cannon of a right arm there, but tipped that one over the block.
When a player has the ability to pound the ball all the time, and then all of a sudden the defense is back on their heels thinking that's going to happen, and he just tips it over, that's a great player. That's a great player.
Another error committed there by the Greyhounds. That was Otto, who hasn't had many swings tonight. Maybe that's why, but another error there. And quite frankly, it looks like right now the libero for the Greyhounds is struggling a little bit to pass the ball consistently. I mean, that ball going way out to the outside there. Rebels able to recover this one.
Great job by Connor Kuntz to pass that ball perfect.
That's right. Josh Byrne goes with the off-speed, a roll shot over the top of the block, and that would be an overpass committed there by the Greyhounds libero. Struggling a little bit is number 7, Jeff Wold, I should say. Pickett plays that one over, and Sam, a little finesse there.
Little finesse, exactly. There again, when you have such a great hitting percentage in the first and second set, the Greyhounds are a little bit on their heels, and then the tips start coming in.
And the Rebels have gone on a 5-point run here.
Alex
Payne able to save that one, and Luke Grannon just in a little bit of a rush, I would say, just throws that one into the net instead.
Little inexperience on Luke's part.
Yeah. And we're going to see Wold serve here for Carmel. Tops that one into zone 6. And that was a nice quick set out there. Didn't even have a block up for Josh.
Yeah.
On that outside was Leighton.
And he hits it hard enough that even if somebody is going to be digging it, more than likely it's going to be shanked somewhere.
That's right.
And not on the court.
Yep. So old reliable Benji Pesto back to serve again here. See where coach tells him to put it. Into zone 1. And they run a really nice middle there with number 15, who I don't see him on there, but I'm going to say that's Jackson Leaper.
Yep.
Who hits out of the middle there, gets the kill for Carmel. Leighton back to serve. Pretty dang good pass there by Pesto. My goodness, what a pass.
Perfect on target. A little bit of a mix-up. They were trying to run a switch, and I think that Josh got just a little bit in the way of Luke.
So here Leighton goes to serve again. Little jump top there. Nice pass by Hendricks, and Josh pushes that one over. And Pickett able to score off of the block of Sam Island. Pickett and Sam, I believe, played in club this winter and fall. So those two pretty familiar with each other. Served by Leighton. Trying to go. I would say that that's probably some inexperience there from Leaper, because he was just really late on that one.
The slide is a very difficult set to perform, because Sam is setting it to actually nobody, and the middle has to have the presence to be on time and try to get there and time it. It's such a timing issue that it's very difficult. Luke did a great job by controlling it and putting it on the floor.
Right. So 9-8 ball game here. We got Pickett serves that one, floats it into zone 6, and that one was a little tight. Connor Kuntz, good job of just getting that ball over. And we got a free ball here for the Rebels. Pesto to Island, and then a nice pipe attack. Went through the triple block and picked up by the Greyhounds, able to push it back over, and Grannon then abuses Leaper out of the middle there. Leaper's not, I mean, if he just gets that block up a little sooner, and pushes across, that might be a nice nice ball down on the other side for him. So Hendricks back to serve now in a 9-9 ball game. And that one is going to be played very well. Nice diving attempt there, nice save. And the Rebels
just barely
pushing
out.
that one out. Just
Yeah.
barely out.
Yeah, Leeper is he played on the JV team. He's being brought up. He's a little inexperienced. He's a sophomore. And, without knowing his background, I would say he probably didn't start playing until the 9th grade.
From the looks of it, you would say. Yeah. And that ball is played nicely up by Leeper, who's playing some back row now since he just served. But the Rebels able to get the kill there.
Great job by Alex Payne as a middle to get up high enough to do a great block.
That's right. So here we go, 10-10 ball game here. Looks like we have a referee talking to Layton, who must be the speaking captain for Carmel tonight. I wonder.
I believe he's wanting the JV players that are playing with a volleyball in the background to go ahead and put it down.
Stop handling the ball.
Just in case, always safety first. Would hate for that ball to roll underneath the player and break an ankle.
Pretty bad there. So a serve from Sam Island, float into zone 1 there, and Jacob Kellum able to come over. What kind of combination was that there?
That was just another 31, which brought Jacob more into the middle, and he tried to cut it too hard, and it went out of bounds. When you do that, it gives very little room for it to put the ball down.
Yeah. And that's an overpass there that is
great reach.
Disposed.
Yeah, great reach by Connor Kuntz to block that ball and put it straight down.
Very good. So Sam Island feeling confident enough to go for his 3rd serve in a row. He's just floating that one over, of course. Layton sets Otto, looking for a touch, and that one goes begging. So no touch there awarded. And the Rebels putting together a little run here. Started with 10-10 on this server, and now we're at 13-10. Consistency from the serve really helps.
Oh, there's that ace.
Sam puts that one right into zone 2, and Libero struggled picking that one up. Sam back again to serve. Jump floats, and that one's long.
Tried to change up from going from the short ball to the long ball, and it just went slightly a little bit too long.
A good run, though. Got the Rebels up by 3 here, so we're going to see if they can keep pushing to finish this one out. Gets back to serve to Hendricks. Nice pass by Hendricks, and what a connection there, the 2 seniors, Island and Straumans.
But you got Zach, that's 6'8", hitting out of the middle, quick ball. It's hard to stop.
That is hard to stop. And Coots floats that one over. Handled well, but I thought that was a pretty good set. Kellum pounds that one in the bottom of the net, though.
Yeah, Kellum has always had a little bit of a problem with getting down on himself. He's such a perfectionist that he wants to hit everything perfect, and when he doesn't, then he's his worst enemy. And he's a great player. He just needs to know that sometimes you're just going to make mistakes. This is a tough sport.
Yeah. And Layton commits the error there and is now subbed out. Number 20, Alex Baldwin, coming in to replace Layton. And Connor serves. Nice pass and pretty good set.
It was a pretty good set, but unfortunately number 18 was didn't take an approach whatsoever, so he was just standing at the net. Again, a little miscommunication between the setter and the hitter.
Kuntz serves again. Nice tough serve, targeting the freshman in the back row there. And Carmel able to roll that one over to get a nice little standing down ball over. And they recover again, and here's another free ball, and let's see what the Rebels do with this one. Oh.
Well, they were able to get that again, trying to do some trick play, doing a reverse X, and having your right side come around behind the middle that was running a fake one ball. Again, the set has to be perfect, and it was just off a little bit.
Yeah. Kuntz back to serve again there, and miscommunication between the passers there. Whose responsibility do you think that one is?
That's the Libero. Libero has to, he's the specialist in defense and serve receiving. He has to take that ball. Connor doing a great job. He's putting that ball very, very deep in the corner.
Served by Kuntz again, taken by the libero, and this one's going to be freed over by Otto. Kuntz takes that one, and whammo.
Well, that's again, Alex Payne's great job of skying up in the air, and then being able to put that ball straight down.
Alex plays tennis as well in the fall for the Rebels, and you can definitely tell he's got the arm swing of a tennis player, that's for sure.
Very quick arm swing.
Yep. And Kuntz on a roll here, and man, the libero's having
another miscommunication, a bad pass from their first player, and then miscommunication, and now the libero is being pulled out. I would go straight toward the new player.
Freshman with the nice pass there, nice little attack there by Otto, and Strawmans uses the hands of Kellum against him.
Yeah.
And the Rebels have put some distance between them, 23-11 here. 2 points away from sealing the deal here.
Roncalli is 1-0 versus the Greyhounds this year, so they do have the advantage of beating them the first time.
That one actually set by Strawmans and played over by Josh on that one. That's the nice thing about having Zach out there. He's not just a big guy that hits the ball. He's got some good hands, too.
He does have some good hands, absolutely.
And this is for match point. 24-11. Kuntz, little extra mustard on that one. Hendricks comes over, takes that pass, and Josh Byrne able to beat the defense out there.
Yeah, that's...
What a great pace on that set by Sam.
Absolutely. That was the last little hammer on the head of the nail to finalize this match and show Carmel that Roncalli is absolutely the better team at this point.
Well, with that being said, the Rebels take this 3-0. We're going to take a break here in the woodshed. We'll come back, and hopefully we'll be joined by Rebel head coach John Kesterson. So we're going to take about a 2-minute break, and we'll be right back.
If I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put you and I together.
Milto Cleaners, we're pickup artists when it comes to your clothes.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
Okay, just one more.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Every day, we go farther, try harder, and do things others think are impossible. But for people who are passionate about what they do, it's normal. At Ortho Indy, we make sure of it. As the largest sports medicine group in Indiana and the official orthopedic provider for the Pacers, our specialists work to treat your injury from diagnosis to recovery and get you back in the game, because you were built to perform. Ortho Indy Sports Medicine, helping you get normal back, whatever your normal looks like.
And welcome back to the Woodshed. I'm Stefan Welsh, joined here alongside Mitch Allard and head coach of the Rebels, John Kesterson. Congrats on the win there, Coach.
Thanks. I was starting to worry if you guys were jinxes for us by the last live stream, but no, this was good. The kids were ready. They were pumped to play a good team. So, Carmel's, I'm shocked by the outcome because they're much better than what they showed here.
Yeah, I thought they got down a little bit. You guys stayed on top of them even after that third set. You tried to bring in your second setter. And,
well, Sam had a blister on his hand, and when he dove for the ball, it just took the skin right off. So I wasn't sure if he'd be back in time to start that set, so I just pasted Zach in there. And Zach wasn't, those points they had weren't his fault, so
no.
It wasn't Zach's.
Right, the passing wasn't there for him. He was struggling to get to the ball.
Right.
What do you do for the future that you start off with such a good first set hitting 333, and then your second set you drop down a little bit to a 244? What do you do to keep that pressure on the team to make sure that they stay as aggressive as possible?
But we have a game plan to where we know certain players have certain shots that work. And in the timeouts, we just tell them, it's like, look, focus on, these shots. You do the go. You focus on this 31. You focus on this 6. And as long as we focus on those primary shots, they're going to go down. When you have kids like Strawmans and Burns and Kuntz hitting the ball.
Yeah, the slide seemed to not work very well this evening.
It hasn't worked all year. Our timing has been off all year.
It is the most difficult. Sam's setting to actually nobody has to put it just in the right spot, and then the hitter has to be on time to put that ball down.
And a lot of times we try it when probably we shouldn't. He's crossed half court and trying to make the difficult shot.
We saw that with Connor, who passed the ball over on one side and ran to the other side to try to hit a slide.
Well, we run certain plays in serve receive rotations, and that's one we came up with to make it a little different because we're sort of predictable sometimes.
Right.
That was a little bit too much. He wasn't supposed to do it if he came past the circle.
Gotcha.
He was supposed to call off and go a bird, and he didn't.
But they went with it.
Well, you certainly have a good combination there with Alex and Josh Burns, Alex Payne, that both of them are not overly tall, but they can sky, and they both pound the ball straight down.
Right. They are just pure leaping power, aren't they? They are fun to watch.
So who do you think was your key players this evening?
Josh brought the energy from the get-go. Clearly Josh was, if you named an MVP for a match, he was it because he was just at 100% all night. His serves weren't in, but, when he's beating the ball like he was, I'll take the missed serves and we'll go with that.
That was one thing that we noticed early on was neither team was really holding a serve.
No.
What was that? We saw jump top spins early on, and did you tell those guys, let's get them in?
Well, right. So I tried to have them focus on being aggressive with their serving because we're not going to win by being anemic with that serving. Tough. So I have the power guys top and go. But I asked them to just try to focus on the toss, dial it in, try not to go 100%, dial it in at 75. Once that's in, just start ramping up the power. Yeah. And it didn't quite work today, but they were excited to play a good team finally. So
are you restricting, like Sam struggled this evening with his top spin?
He did.
Are you telling him to go to a float, or is it his maturity?
Third set, no, I just asked him to stay down. I said stay down, find. We were focusing on certain people in their serve receive. I said find this person, and he did, and it worked. So.
Yeah, their libero struggled this evening. As you can tell, the third set they pulled him out. and they had a couple of other weak passers. And it was I thought Connor Kuntz did an absolutely great job serving in a zone. He was serving the 5 zone very deep, very deep, and that is so hard to capture.
Yes,
that was good.
He is an excellent server. He's an excellent passer. Connor's a great asset in this team.
So, Coach, moving forward, what are we looking at your schedule there? What are you looking forward to here?
Well, we have Covenant Christian Thursday. That's Covenant's good. Aaron's a good coach, so I'm sure they'll push us. Friday we have a try match. Zionsville's coming down, and Zionsville has only lost 1 match all year, and depending on which poll they're in, they're either 1 or 2 or 3, but they're a good team. So
that could be
could be interesting.
Another good RPI challenge Friday.
It could be a great RPI challenge. RPI, no comment.
We won't talk about the RPI. That has been a subject that has been in Roncalli's hindsight for many years.
I don't understand why we can't just use max preps, because to me that's more representative of how the true power in the state lies out. They get it. I don't know what their formula is, but theirs is usually very representative of how it really is.
Right.
So before we get out of here, just want to say we celebrated CYO night here.
Yes.
You and Coach Allard here are former former coaches of St. Jude.
At St. Jude before the CYO took it over. Himself and Robert Sailing at St. Barnabas, they started that stuff.
And so
8 years ago.
So what were the numbers that we got from Bernie Price tonight?
So we back when I started at St. Jude, it was 5 teams with Carlos and Robert Sailing, and now we have over 100 boys volleyball teams.
That's amazing.
That's phenomenal.
I did hear,
that's what I would say.
Was it last year or the year before? It is the largest boys volleyball, grade school boys volleyball league in the country. So
I can see that.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
And it certainly helps Roncalli out. It was great to see all the kids from the South Deanery schools here tonight, and knowing that they will be coming to your program in the future.
Right. When we get these kids and they have 4 or 5 years experience under their belt, we're not like the other schools who are teaching them just how to rotate. They come in knowing that, so we're head and shoulders above them at the freshman levels, and that helps us immensely.
It's a privilege.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Great job, Coach.
I just want to give everybody the heads up. The next scheduled broadcast for the boys volleyball for streaming will be the regional on May 11th.
Very good.
So we got to host a regional.
We will host a regional. We will host a regional.
We've hosted a regional for the past
10 years straight.
10 years straight, and I know
it's not going to stop now.
All right. Good. Well, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a good evening.
Congrats to the team.
Thanks.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight, Mitch. Closing thoughts?
Just a fantastic match tonight. Could have gone either way. I don't think Carmel showed everything that they had. They could have certainly been a lot more. I think psychologically, they're still struggling a little bit, and they're young. And the program changed hands here a few years ago, and that always takes a little bit. A few more years to get back to par. But it was great that the Roncalli Rebels were able to stay on top even when they were down that third set. They didn't panic, and they came back, and it's fantastic. They just got to put the, as John said, Coach Kesterson, the RPI rankings came out, and quite different than the coaches poll, and it put us a little bit lower, and we have to make sure that we finish out the season strong.
So a statement win of sorts for the Rebels tonight, being that Carmel was ahead of them in the RPI rankings, sweeping them in 3 straight sets, and so that's good news for the Rebels.
Absolutely, that's going to help their RPI, and they're going to move up.
Well, the next broadcast for the Rebel Media Network, streaming online, will be Monday. We're actually going to do the first ever track meet here at Roncalli, streaming that live, and my cameraman Jacob is really pumped for that one. So,
well, I think your staff has done an absolutely fantastic job. I wish we had this the setup the years that I was coaching at Roncalli. I'm quite impressed.
Oh, well, glad to hear that. So we got Jacob West on camera 1 or camera 2, I should say. No, camera 1. Camera 1. We got Aaron Richardson, who did camera 2 tonight. Our director was Jack Barrett, and picking up from the freshman boys team, we had Noah Whitmer, who was keeping stats for us, and then on the score and graphics was Jackson Straumans. So
fantastic job.
Wonderful team effort tonight. I want to thank Rob Brown, who was our spotter tonight, and our audio technician tonight. And always wonderful to work with Rob. And the executive producer of the Rebel Media Network is Gary Armbruster. Technical director would be his wife, Darla Coop, and I'm Stefan Welsh.
Mitch Allard.
And the Rebels win 3-0 here in the Woodshed. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.